Everton were at Anfield in February 1986 as the reigning champions, but Liverpool were hoping to take the title from them. Commentary comes from Martin Tyler.
Jan Molby is up alongside Ian Rush at the kick-off with the battle for supremacy on Merseyside. Rarely holding more national significance than this. Jan Molby perhaps has an auxiliary attacker here. They're third in the First Division. Everton, the league leaders. The opening moments usually so frantic. And Liverpool have the free kick. Ian Rush has been feeling a groin strain, and he was one of the Liverpool doubts. It's taken by Beglin. And Molby trying to use his height and his bulk. Sammy Lee, then McMahon. It's one for Rush to chase, but Pat van den Hauwe and then Gary Stevens with two rather composed headers, with Everton defending the goal in front of the Kop. A Kop on which blue and red are stood side by side. Here's Mark Lawrence. Everton with such a settled pattern of playing, basically a 4-4-2 formation, and Liverpool who seem to chop and change their style. There's no sweeper, it seems, on view today, and Mark Lawrence is playing at right back, with Gillespie and Hansen in the centre of defence. Craig Johnston on the right of midfield. Molby. And McMahon losing out as Peter Reid comes forward for Everton. Johnston was left out of the starting lineup against York on Tuesday, but he came on as substitute and invigorated the Liverpool performance. Poynton with the throw. That's Richardson, and Grobbelaar right in line. Rush. Here's Lee. Richardson. There's not a moment to relax in possession in midfield. And Gary Gillespie savouring a Merseyside derby for the first time. McMahon. And Ronnie Whelan is straight offside, making a dart ahead of the ball as Beglin swept the pass forward, but Whelan chasing into an offside area. Hansen. Here's Trevor Steven, and Beglin staying down. He mistimed the tackle. Such was his urgency to try and win the ball. Trevor Steven was actually a little too quick there for Jim Beglin, and Joe Worrell straight away calling for attention to the Liverpool left-back. You can see Beglin going in, typical early challenge in a derby match, but he twisted as he fell. And Ronnie Moran reflecting the concern in the Liverpool ranks. Kenny Dalglish announced yesterday that he had 7 players under treatment. I don't think Beglin was one of those, but some of the names were kept under wraps, particularly that of Alan Hansen, who's been struggling to beat an injury this week. And Hansen lost sharp there from the long throw. Everton have the corner. Trevor Steven to take. Gary Stevens and Pat van den Hauwe waiting around the near post, where McMahon met it for Liverpool. Here's Reid. Sharp and Lineker repositioning in the middle. Here's Reid. And Richardson, good save. Not just in the handling, but in the anticipation from Grobbelaar, who seemed to be taking off before Richardson let fly. So that will do the Liverpool goalkeeper's confidence no end of good. Reid. The onus very much on Liverpool to go for the victory here and cut the gap. A draw would suit the Everton cause, and a terrible mix-up between Lawrence and Grobbelaar, and Lawrence somehow has redeemed it because Richardson couldn't recover his balance when the goal was gaping. Now I wonder here whether the concern in protecting the goalkeeper's injury led to this extraordinary episode. Grobbelaar came, Lawrenson touched it, Richardson was down, it seemed a certain goal for Everton, but Lawrenson wrapped his foot round the ball and got it to safety. Well, Mark Lawrenson had to make up so much ground, and now it's the hands that give Grobbelaar cause for concern. And a buzz around the ground to suggest that the Everton fans feel that there might have been a decision awarded in their favour with that incident with Kevin Richardson. Whelan coming in with the header. Poynton, and it certainly wasn't deliberate by Lee. Everton, though, have their free kick, and Poynton's run was definitely impeded. And it is Neil Poynton to take the free kick. And Hansen, who concedes the corner. Pat van den Hauwe was steaming in behind the Liverpool captain. It might just pay Everton to hang the ball in close to Grobbelaar. And that's sharp. Graham Sharp, who scored the winner in that very goal in this fixture last season. And the Everton striker climbed well there. Players like Sammy Lee and Steve McMahon, who of course began his career with Everton. And the referee, Joe Worrell, experienced enough to take the nature of the fixture into account when ruling on the challenges. But he didn't like the way McMahon went in then. It'll reach Trevor Steven. And the referee was running back to the middle thinking it was a goal. But it's a corner. It's the side netting. The roar from this side of the ground stayed really in the throat. Grobbelaar came and was nowhere near it. Steven. The nature of this fixture, it was surely that. And it ends with a drop ball, because that was the object of the attentions of players from both sides. Out from Lee. Liverpool press back again. And it's Everton's team play that's doing this. And that's been conspicuously absent from Liverpool's style. Steven. Reed. And finally away from McMahon. Rush tussling strongly and getting some reward for it. Everton again cutting down the options available to Liverpool. Tremendous play really from Howard Kendall's side when they didn't have the ball, and they do get goals from that type of situation. They did it, you might have seen in our televised match recently against Manchester City. They did it, of course, in the Cup Winners' Cup final when Andy Gray got in on a back pass. I remember this season in the Charity Shield, they pilfered a goal from Manchester United at Wembley. And they've got Liverpool stretched at the moment. Bracewell. Ball by Johnston. Sharp. Graham Sharp again. Bracewell, whose finishing isn't really the strongest part of his game. Paul Bracewell, who made his first appearance for Everton against Liverpool at Wembley in the Charity Shield. McMahon beating Reed. Lineker. Mark Lawrenson deflected Trevor Stevens' hard cross shot into the side netting. And the referee, Joe Worrell, his first instinct was that the ball had gone past Grobbelaar for a legitimate goal when it had hit the side netting. Reed. A first half of stops and starts, and a number of players needing minor treatment for injuries. Joe Worrell just assessing the amount of stoppage time. And it's no time for a risk to be taken by an Everton defender. Poynton was well aware of that, with half-time beckoning. Everton have had rather the better of a goalless first half. Liverpool, it seemed, over-concerned about Bruce Grobbelaar's fitness, and they have defended rather tentatively in front of the goalkeeper. And Everton will feel that they should have had a penalty when Kevin Richardson was sent crashing when the ball was rolling towards the Liverpool goal line. But Mark Lawrenson got back and sent Richardson down as he did so to get the ball clear. Half-time though at Anfield, it's Liverpool 0, Everton 0. The second half starts with both substitutes on. Kevin MacDonald has taken over from Jan Molby, and for Everton, Alan Harper has replaced Paul Bracewell. Bracewell, who was nursing a training injury and was only past fit yesterday. So that will mean a change, particularly in the Liverpool approach. It could well be that Craig Johnston will go forward alongside Ian Rush, with MacDonald coming into midfield. But Jan Molby was the victim of a couple of stern tackles in the first half, so Craig Johnston will play the second half as a striker. McMahon. And Alan Harper, back in familiar territory. He started his career as a Liverpool player. Stevens with the free kick. Rush trying to keep his eye on the ball and colliding with Van den Hauwe. Whelan. Howard Kendall down on the Everton bench for the second half. Of course, a former Everton player in games like this. Beglin. Stevens. And Stephen determined not to be caught in possession, but in too much of a hurry. It's tackle after tackle rather than pass after pass. But Reed gets the better of Hansen. Possibilities here for Everton. Lineker's in the middle. So too is Sharp and Richardson. It was a genuine opportunity for Everton. Superbly created for Richardson by Peter Reid. And he knows the significance of the miss. Sharp. Stephen, the splendid turn. Brilliant save by Grobbelaar. It looked for all the goal for Trevor Stephen, which he would have earned with his superb turn here. An instant shot, and Grobbelaar at full stretch. Lineker and Reid with a good angle here for a cross, if he can get the better of Gillespie. Richardson, now Alan Harper, Ratcliffe joining in, and Grobbelaar! Ratcliffe! And the gamble has failed. My impression was that the ball was deflected slightly, but Kevin Ratcliffe, who's only ever scored one league goal in his life, comes up with one here in a Merseyside derby that he'll never forget, and Grobbelaar will want to forget, but will be haunted. It's Everton voices that you can hear at Anfield now. Poynton. What can Liverpool muster? They're staring defeat in the face on their own ground against the old enemy, but they've still got Ian Rush. And Everton are grateful that they've got Southall. The Rush cutting edge is still sharp, and he nicked the ball away then. But Van den Hauwe was back to block, but it still needed some brave work here from Southall. Lineker. Can it be two for Everton? It is! A personal landmark for Gary Lineker amidst the passion of a Merseyside derby. He's achieved 30 goals in a season in club football for the first time, and he may well have put it beyond Liverpool's redress this time. In many ways, a definitive Lineker goal. Speed of thought and of movement, and Grobbelaar this time left with no chance at all. Everton have struck with both barrels. They lead 2-0. There's 12 minutes left. Well, Gary Lineker, who got an unwitting deflection to Kevin Ratcliffe's shot for the first goal. No doubt that the second is his. The referee has checked with one linesman. He's checked now with the other on the far side. We're into injury time for Liverpool in a losing cause. Lawrenson. And Johnston is offside. It breaks down again, as it has so often for Liverpool on the edge of the Everton area.
First aid post after the game, please.
Sharp, beaten by Gillespie. And the chest of Lee. The referee saw that from very close quarters. Rush, who's been so effective in these fixtures in the past and has been a real scourge of Everton. Whelan. Has Rush got one more shot in his locker? And the calmest of back passes from Trevor Steven, emphasising Everton's superiority at the end, though they had to work mighty hard to attain that superiority. Everton have a very significant victory. Kevin Ratcliffe's goal with 16 minutes left, followed up by a second from Gary Lineker. Lineker getting a little touch on Ratcliffe's shot for the first, and Bruce Grobbelaar, who clearly was not fit, will look back on the manner of the first Everton goal, which turned the match away from Liverpool, and it'll need all his phlegmatic nature to cope with that, I'm sure. A final thought, Everton's two previous victories here in 1970 and last season have been in their last two championship winning seasons. Is that an omen for the destination of the title this year?
Sadly for Everton fans, it wasn't. Liverpool would be the Merseyside team who'd win the title in 1986.